What's going on? This is the Experienced Optimist. I want to talk to you about women and lying. What I've realized as I've gotten older is that women lie a lot. This was one of the things I had to learn by experience. And when I was younger, blue pill, I was so naive that I really didn't want to believe that women lied as much as they do. Now, I'm not saying that men don't lie, men do lie. But I came across this article straight from the horse's mouth. It's Cosmopolitan magazine. Of course, Cosmopolitan magazine is a magazine for women, women's issues. Now, this article is from Cosmopolitan India. So you're going to get a lot of responses from Indian women in this article. And the article is titled, "The Top 13 Lies Every Woman Tells Men." So let's begin with the article. It starts out, it's an undisputed fact that men lie. Studies say guys lie more than girls, in fact. I actually kind of doubt that. But what about us? Remember when you exaggerated just a teensy bit about how that hottie at the bar was ogling you last night? You knew your fella's hackles would rise. Hackles, I never heard that term before. Your fella's hackles would rise. I guess that means he would get jealous. Or when you said you'd be dressed in 10 minutes, knowing full well that you're going to wash your hair, blow dry it, try 3 different shades of shimmer. And women do that all the time. Okay, it's confession time. Every now and then we slip in a false fact to our men just to make things a little bit more interesting or easier. Admittedly, our fibs are of a different kind from theirs, meaning men. But they are alive and well. In our relationships, we are more likely to tell altruistic white lies to those closest to us rather than blatant lies, generally in an attempt to maintain satisfaction and harmony in the relationship. See, now this is bullshit. Because what happens when women tell those little white lies, over time, those lies become so big that they cause the relationship to go south. You know, like the orgasm lie, where she says that she lies to her man, saying that she has orgasms all the time, but then later on he finds out that she doesn't really have any orgasms, that she wasn't communicating effectively. This causes a rift in the relationship because it's basically destroying the intimacy in that relationship. Okay, so now it talks about how the girls will dish out the most fabricated stories they tell their men. Number 1, guys love to feel needed, so every time I have a flat tire or the fuse goes out in my flat, I give my man a ring and he comes rushing right over. I'm perfectly capable, now listen to this, I'm perfectly capable of handling such tiny glitches, but why get my hands dirty when he happily volunteers and feels macho about it? You see, that's why women can't live without men. Because women, as it says right here, straight from the horse's mouth, they want a slave, they want a guy that will come over and fix all the problems that they have. And the guy will happily do it, just like it says here, because he feels macho about it. He feels like he's getting something out of it. Like, oh, here I come to save the day. That is why you should if we're truly living in an equal society, you should let her ass get out there and change your own tire, change your own light bulb, do her own work. You are not her construction worker. You are not her slave to get down and do all her menial tasks for her. Make her do it. All right, number 2 is kind of whack. I'm going to go to number 3. Call it social conditioning, but I know that any guy I'm with will flip if I tell him that I've been with 8 other men pre him. So for all my boyfriends, and this is key right here, guys. So for all my boyfriends, they are the only ones I've ever cared about, had any true feelings for, etc., etc. So basically what this woman is saying is, every time she gets into a relationship with a guy, she tells him that she cares about him, that he was the only one that matters to her, basically bullshitting him to rope him in. Keep this in mind. Because when a woman says that she loves a man, mostly, see, I don't think a woman ever loves a man. I think a woman charms a man. She uses charm. The charm seems like love. It's when she snuggles up to you late at night, puts her head on your shoulder, rubs your leg, tells you that no other man that she's met is like you. No other man has made her come so hard, or whatever bullshit she tells you. That's basically just charm. That's not love. But like here, straight from the horse's mouth. Social conditioning is what she called it. All right, number 4. There are some things my hubby and I prefer to turn a blind eye to, like my shopping sprees. He will hyperventilate if he knew exactly how much it cost me to buy those swanky stilettos he loves me in, or the price tag on the wallet I bought for his birthday. This is basically just talking about egregious spending, how women buy stupid shit that that are very extravagant, that you don't need. This is why, as a man, you should always be in control of the spending and buy things that the costs are low. You don't need to go out and spend all your money trying to impress the woman that you're with. All right, number 5. While I have never said, oh, that was a wrong number, I have kept to myself the details of a conversation with an ex. After all, why risk my current flame turning super possessive? And he will, if instead of saying he wanted his collection of CDs back, but this is what really happened when the ex called, I let on that my past boyfriend is still itching to get back together and sending SMSs to remind me how good we were together. I know it will be held against me during a fight. See, what she's doing, what this girl is doing is, when her ex is texting her, she's telling her boyfriend, yeah, he just wants to talk. He just wants to see these back. Don't even worry about it, honey. I love you. You don't have anything to worry about. But what she's doing is she's keeping this dude on the back burner. So if something bad happens, she'll go back to him and ditch your ass. Or she may keep you around and then just go fuck this guy when she wants to. Okay, so that was number 6. No, that was number 5. Let's see. Number 6. Any girl can tell you that after a fight with her man, she will have a 2-hour cry fest with her best friend. Every word he said will be dissected, the hidden meaning behind the shrug of his shoulders deciphered, and the poor guy will have zero clue that he's being ripped apart from his spectacles down to his toenails. If he asks, I am likely to say, yeah, I mentioned that. We had a spat. That's it. And the same goes when finally, after months of dating, he says the L word. Guys just don't get the kind of telephone bonding we girls do. So what she's saying here, let me interpret. What she's saying here is that when you have a little love spat here and there. She's gonna call her friend and she's gonna rip you apart, like she says here, rip you apart everything you're doing. And the problem with this is she's gonna hold all this shit against you. So later on down the line, when you've invested all your time, money, and love into this woman, there's gonna come a time where she's gonna look back and she's gonna say, you did me wrong this day, this day, this day. Even if you were just trying to communicate with her, you're gonna be seen as the enemy and she's gonna use that against you. That's why as MGTOW, you don't have to worry about it. You get with this girl, you have fun with her, have a few liaisons, sex a couple times, whatever, and then, you send her on her way. You don't have to worry about all this other nonsense. Okay, number 7. I might just have, this is key right here. I might just have a minor case of the sniffles, but I will whimper into the phone to my man about how unwell I am. Sure, it's a girly way to get his sympathy, but who cares if you get to hear, oh baby, can I come over and make you some hot soup? This is pure manipulation at its finest. Now this guy could be working on a project at work. He could be working on a book, some music, anything. So then some girl calls him up to get a little sympathy. So this dude has to put everything down, drive all the way over to her house, even though her lazy ass can get up and make her own soup. These are the small, cunning ways that women manipulate men. But you see, what happens is these small, cunning ways, this adds up over time. The woman understands that she can manipulate you here, she can lie over here, she can use a white lie over here, and then sooner or later, she breaks you down, rifts start to form in the relationship, and it's all bad from there on. So number 8, I look younger than I actually am, so I usually get away with not admitting my real age. When I met this really cute guy at the bar, he assumed I was in my early 20s, so I let him think I was. Now this one's not too bad, but at the same time, it's like, it's lying by omission. You know, this is just one of those things that like women do just like slyly on the low. I mean, it's just part of a lot of women's repertoire. Yeah. The guy thinks I'm younger, even though I'm older. I'll let him think that. Women do that all the time, but that's not too bad, but it's still deceitful on some level. So 9, if I go out with my girl pals and end up having a boring evening, I'll never admit it to my man. I know he would gloat over it. So I fudge the details to make him a bit jealous about how I could spend time without him and enjoy myself. Now what the fuck for? Okay, so you had a boring evening. So you're gonna go back and play it up to make a dude jealous? That's just childish. But that's the mind of a woman. Okay, number 10. I was a terrible student. I'm quite ashamed of my mark sheet. When my boyfriend asked me if I was a topper in school, I spun a yarn about oh my goodness. So I spun a yarn about a family tragedy due to which I presumably performed really badly in my board exams. Now keep in mind that like I said before, most of these female Santas are Indian. So a lot of guys think that, well, the women are different overseas and different other countries. Apparently not. So in this case, she made up some family tragedy just so she could excuse herself from doing bad in school. Now, why would you do that? And the thing is, if a woman will do something deceitful like this, when you're down the line and she gets away with it, there's no telling what she'll make up. So number 11. I had a huge crush on my friend. Manipulation at its finest coming up. But he refused to pay attention to me. So I concocted a story about this other guy who I was supposed to be absolutely crazy about. And then I asked him for his opinion. He got so worked up that he came right out and confessed how he had always liked and lusted after me. Now, all the woman had to do, because I'm sure this guy liked her, right? He got jealous. All she had to do was say, look, I like you. When we go out, we have a good time together. And I think we should do something together. That's all she had to say. And the guy would have been like, I've always had a crush on you. Let's do it. But you see, women go through all these loops, being manipulative, being deceitful, when they don't have to be. When if they can just communicate like an adult, they can get what they want. All right, number 12. My man thinks I was the one who dumped my previous two boyfriends, and not the other way around. I know it makes him see me as cool, see me as a cool, confident babe, and there's no reason why I should admit that this isn't true. See, now the thing is, the reason why she was dumped by her two previous boyfriends is because she's crazy as shit. That's the reason why she was dumped. And she doesn't want her boyfriend to know that, damn, those other two guys were like, man, this girl is crazy. We need to get the hell away from her. So now he's the new Mark, man, and he's probably got roped in. See, and that's the reason why she go MGTOW. MGTOW, this shady woman comes up to you, you have sex with her, you do your thing, have a few good times with her, and then send her on her way. All right, 13. My man went for a haircut and came back with these freaky streaks. He was so pleased with himself, I didn't have the heart to bust him. I let him preen and said he looked great. Oh, that's stupid. The dude just came back with a bad haircut. All right. 14. I'm totally in love with my guy, but he gets impossibly possessive every time I go out for drinks with my male colleagues. It's harmless office bonding, but I prefer not to tell him about these evenings. Now, see, this is key right here. This is what this means. The reason why this guy is possessive, because subconsciously or consciously, he knows he has a harlot on his hands. So when she's going out for drinks, basically just like these other articles that I read to you over the past couple of days, what's going to happen is she's going to find herself in a situation eventually where she just gets caught up in the flow of the moment and she doesn't know what happened, but then she's going to say, I got a little drunk, I met this new guy, next thing you know, I'm having sex with him, I don't know what happened, but I still love my boyfriend. And that's why the guy's so possessive, because he knows that his girl is most likely the type of girl who would go out on these parties or whatever and then end up cheating or end up doing something that she's not supposed to be doing. All right, number 15. My boyfriend is a complete fitness freak, which means he doesn't smoke, drink, or eat junk food. All this is great, except I like being a little bad when I head out with the girls. So I'll go on a partying spree and indulge in all things he hates. Then while telling him about the exploits of the previous night, I'll gloss over the gory details just a little bit. Let me tell you what the interpretation of this means. Basically, this just means that, yeah, she's cool right now. She's a fitness freak like him, but she splurges a little bit, man. She gets a little crazy when she goes out with the girls. So what's going to happen is later on when the dude commits to her, he's going to continue to be a fitness freak. And then she's going to slowly get fatter and fatter. And then she's going to shame this dude and tell him, hey, man, you spend too much time at the gym. What are you doing? You need to stop that. I want to go to the gym with you, and she'll shame him and guilt him until he starts to get a little complacent and starts to get fat like she does, like she is. That's what women do. So that's the setup to what's going to happen later on down the line. All right, number 16. Every man thinks he is absolutely fantastic in bed. Heed this, guys. It is easier to let my current guy believe this myth rather than suffer his low esteem if I told him I was faking the O's. See, now this is complete bullshit. See, the woman the woman blames the man for the fact that she's faking her O's, when she could easily go to her man. It's basically all her fault. All she has to do is go to her man and say, look, I can orgasm if you fuck me in these different types of positions. Maybe we should use a vibrator. Maybe we should try some other sexual techniques so then I can have real orgasms. And then what will happen is the guy, he may feel a little bit bad, momentarily, but he'll get on it. He'll research, he'll do anything, because a man wants to make his woman happy. And especially if he can get his woman an orgasm, he loves that. So that's what he'll do. So when a woman can communicate effectively, like this woman obviously can, and this is a lot of women, they can get what they want. Okay, last one, 17. My fiance's family has terrible taste in clothes and decor. I have to bite my tongue every time I visit his home. He's not likely to feel happy if I point this out, so I just say they're wonderful human beings. See, there's another thing about women. Women love superficial shit. Who cares if the clothes and decor are weird looking? What qualities do these people possess that make them good people? Are they honest? Do they have integrity? Are they nice? Are they giving? These are the qualities that you be looking at. But see, the thing is, a woman will look at all the superficial qualities, the superficial bullshit, and then later on down the line, she'll break up with her husband or her boyfriend because of that. And then so she says that they're wonderful human beings. So basically, in her mind, she's saying because they have terrible taste in clothes and decor, they're not really wonderful human beings. When she says they're wonderful human beings, it implies that she's lying about that. It's stupid, but it goes to show you, straight from the horse's mouth, how women think. They're addicted to superficiality. They're addicted to materialism. They're addicted to things that don't make any sense in the grand scope of things, right? Does the family treat you well? Yes, that's all you should be concerned about. Well, this is just a video. I wanted to talk about just how women lie to men, man. And how they do it often. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. Support other MGTOW channels. If I can just help one guy, that's all I'm looking to do. And I'll talk to you later.